What's up, guys? We're going to take a look at another CodeWars exercise. This one's called Give Me a Diamond, and it's best explained by the example. So let's take a look. A size 3 diamond is 1, 3, 1 with some asterisks. A size 5 is 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. So we're going out to the max width and then contracting with odd numbers, asterisks, and the hard part is centering with spaces. When we do a 1, we don't know how much we need to center it unless we know how wide the entire thing is at the widest point. So it's going to be different. It's not like the first line is always a star. It's a star after a certain amount of spaces. These are not printed one at a time. They're returned in a single string. So they have these invisible new line characters like the indel in C++ or the \n, which is the same as hitting enter on a keyboard. That means we only need to center the left side, like we only need to add spaces on the left, and we do our thing, and then we're done. We don't need to add any spaces on the right. This allows for a bunch of different approaches. I'm going to show how I would do it, but when we check the solutions from others, you might see differences. Let's do it. I'm going to start with integers. We're not going to go into string world until the last second, so I'm going to do how many stars do we have and how many spaces, but they're just a number. I'm going to say stars equals, what I'm thinking is a range counting up and a range counting down. So like if there was a 7, it'd be 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. So that's range 1 to n every 2 to get the odd numbers, and then range n, because we didn't catch the n the first time, it's non-inclusive, to 0, -2. Now you can't do this, you can't add ranges, so I'm going to turn them into lists, and there's another reason for that which we'll see soon, but that does work. And if we print stars, you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll see that the numbers go in the way like 1 or 1, 3, 1 or 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. There's a 2 here, which is bad, but that's because the input was bad. The function got something that was hopeless, and it wouldn't matter how we did our code. So I'm going to work with an assumption of good inputs, get that working, and then we'll add a little guard at the beginning to say if it's no good when we return none or we return 0 or whatever. That is the first step, and now I want to see how many spaces in order to center it. I think there is a center method on strings, but this is going to be quick, not a big deal. If we have the widest line, whatever that turns out to be, that'll have no spaces, right? But every other one will, and it's going to be the widest line minus how many stars we have over 2. Because if it's like a 7 and we have 1, if we're on the first line, then we remove 1 and then we have 6, so we divide by 2, that's 3, so we need 3 spaces before the star. So I'm going to go n, which is our max, minus star, which is something I'll create in a second, divided by 2. I'm doing the double slash to guarantee an integer, but I think it's fine without it, for star in stars. And this is the other reason why we would have had to convert the ranges to lists anyway, because if we use them up in this line, which is something that happens to ranges, they wouldn't be available in the next line. Now finally we're going to go into string mode, and we're going to say let's take these numbers and convert them into something visual. I'm going to say we'll go with an f string, star times star, which looks weird because the star symbol is the times operator, but that's just luck. And then space times space, and this actually has a couple problems. One, I put them in the wrong order, so I'm going to put this guy over here. And the other thing is I can't do double quotes on the inside and also double quotes wrapped around it, so I'm going to do single quotes on this guy. and then we can say for space star in. The order's a little wonky because I did stars first, but actually spaces comes on the left, so as long as we get it right here, it's fine. I'm going to go zip, spaces, and stars. Zip takes two sequences and zips them like a zipper with the first of each, the second of each, the third of each, and so on. So we're going to match the first stars to the first spaces all the way down the line. This is going to be, I think it's a classic join problem, which we see all the time. And we wrap that around this whole thing. Uh-oh, line's getting long. And then return. Let's see how that goes. No, actually, they want the new line after everyone, including the very last one. So this is not a join, where join goes in between but not at the end. This one they actually do want it at the end. So I get to move this guy over here. No more quotes and no more join. And this probably needs to be a bracket. Let's see. Let's try that. No, but we're close, right? You can see that they are not asking for a list, they're asking for a string. So we actually do need the join. It's just a join of nothing. It's just a join of blank, which puts everything together. So there we go. We got it, and this is working, except the thing I mentioned earlier, which is they have to give us a positive odd number. Like if they give us 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, great. Even 127, great. But if they give us 2, no chance. If they give us -5, no chance. So we have to kick out early. If they give us a bad one, we're just done. We don't even have to try the stars and spaces. It's not going to happen. So what did they say in here? If it's even or negative, then it's no good. Okay. So we can say if in is less than 0 or in or not in modulo 2, meaning there's not any remainder, then return. Okay, we don't even have to say a value. If you just return, it returns none, which is what they are asking for. So if I hit test now, beautiful, we got it. If I hit attempt, we passed them all. So that's pretty nice. I think this solution is okay. It's got one super long line that I have to scroll in order to see. Oh, it's not letting me scroll right now, which is partially because my text is huge, which I do for the videos, but partially because that's just a long line. We might want to separate it out. Let's look at the solutions from other people and see other approaches. This person did a for loop all the way through and built the spaces and then the stars and then the new line. And it's a little bit of extra work, I think, like the way I did it where you do the stars and then use that to get the spaces saves us a little bit of math. Like you never have anything like that. But it works, it's fine, no problem. And this one might be more readable to you if you're in the mode of doing for loops all the time. It might be procedural in a way that you like. Let's see if anybody did the center method. This is the one kind of like I did, but it's using more dense, more complicated stuff to squeeze in the stars and the spaces at the same time, which totally fine. Same logic. This one, I wonder if anybody used like a center, because I'm pretty sure there is a center method on strings. I want to see if that's, oh my gosh, look at this one. This one allows you to just call the function at the right time, which is kind of nice. I always love having a name, and you just call the name, and you don't have to worry about the implementation. I'm going to search for center. Yeah, there is a .center method on strings, and you can use that to shift it over the right amount. I don't know exactly how it works and how do you tell it what the max is and everything, but it looks like it's not really helping them write a beautiful answer. This answer is just as complex as all the other ones. Maybe we can find that one looks pretty nice. That one looks pretty nice, I gotta say. If you were comfortable with that, if you were using it. And the chain thing is really nice, where you have equivalent to what I was doing with zip, just a little nicer on that last line. The center over here, that's just a comment. So if you scroll down, you see some approaches. None of them are that crazy, and none of them are that impressive. I didn't find like one incredible poetic line that just blew me away. But it is fun to think about when you have, you know, one set of numbers and another one based on it, and then you put them together, and then it's a string with a little bit of input validation as well. I ended up 4 lines, I think, and some of these are less than that, but, you know, is that better than 4 lines? I don't know. Some of them are pretty dense. So think about this one. I really recommend it. If you're not ready, there's a triangle version where it just goes out and doesn't have the contracting on the bottom half, which could be a start, and that might be a stepping stone.